Good evening. There's a big news development that has taken place this evening, ladies and gentlemen. On the Newshour Agenda, we'll be breaking that up front. Congress has declared Rahul Gandhi as the leader of opposition. The CPP chief has informed the pro tem speaker ahead of the rare race for the speaker's post. In fact, you can see pictures of a meeting taking place earlier this evening. And Rahul Gandhi, very clearly, there has been pressure building up on him from within his party itself. With that, he has to take over as the LoP. It was his own party leaders, in fact, have been requesting him time again. And we've seen a very active Rahul Gandhi taking on a very aggressive role over the last few days. Now, inside the House, what really will happen? Let's quickly take this across to Niyamika. Niyamika, take us through the kind of pressure that has been built upon Mr. Rahul Gandhi over the past several days. And earlier today as well, we understand that this decision has been taken ahead of that rare race for the speaker's post, that Rahul will be the leader of opposition. Big development.
It is a big development from the opposition side, as now formally it is being announced by the Congress Party's General Secretary in charge, KC Venugopal, that Rahul Gandhi is going to be the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, and the CPP chairperson Sonia Gandhi has already written a letter to the pro tem speaker informing him for the appointment of Rahul Gandhi as the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. As recently we have seen that how various Congress leaders have come out in open and they had demanded that Rahul Gandhi should take up this post. Not just they were demanding, but in fact the CWC, which is the Congress Party's working committee and the highest decision making body of the Congress, they had also passed a resolution in which they had mentioned that Rahul Gandhi should be appointed as a leader of opposition in Lok Sabha so that the opposition can be stronger within the Lok Sabha. Recently also we have seen that during the very first day of the Parliament session, Rahul Gandhi was being seen sitting in the front row. He was raising slogans against the BJP leaders. He was raising certain issues which are related to the paper leak or the train accident. All these issues were being continuously being raised by the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. He has played an aggressive role during the campaigning of the Lok Sabha elections as well, and that was the reason why it was not just a demand by the Congress Party members, but in fact many other India bloc partners were also raising.
Niyamika, stay with us. We're going to keep coming back to you for all the updates as far as the decision making within the Congress is concerned, the implications for the Congress Party as well. But there are many reactions coming in, particularly in the social media space. Siddharth Talia joins us for more on this. Siddharth, over to you.
So, Madhav, lots of reactions pouring in from across the political spectrum. Let me, in fact, read out what Mr. KC Venugopal, General Secretary of the Congress Party and also someone supposed to be very close to Rahul Gandhi, has said. He said, CPP Chairperson Srimati Sonia Gandhi Ji has written to the pro tem speaker informing him that Shri Rahul Gandhi Ji is appointed as the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha. We are confident that as LoP, Rahul Ji will be a bold voice for the common people of India and ensure that the NDA government is held firmly accountable at all times. The former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Mr. Bhupesh Baghel, has also tweeted. He says, "हम सबके लिए गौरव और खुशी का पल, देशवासियों की सशक्त आवाज श्री राहुल गांधी जी लोकसभा में नेता विपक्ष होंगे, सबको खूब बधाई, श्री राहुल गांधी जी को शुभकामनाएं, जय हिंद." Srinivas BV as well has tweeted, Shri Rahul Gandhi ji will be the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, and of course putting out a message, a video message put out by Mr. KC Venugopal as well. Imran Pratap Gadhi, Rajya Sabha कांग्रेस पार्टी, आखिरकार सबकी बात मान ली गई, राहुल जी होंगे लोकसभा में नेता प्रतिपक्ष. And then here's a reaction from the opposition. Mr. Amit Malviya has this to say on the eve of the India Alliance's first defeat in the 18th Lok Sabha on the floor of the House. The Congress has announced third time failed. That's his reference. Third time failed Rahul Gandhi as the leader of the opposition. Something surreal about the impeccable timing. Those are some of the reactions that we managed to track so far.
All right. Thanks so much, Siddharth, because I believe there's some soundbites also coming in, many reactions coming in. Siddharth and Niyamika, please stay with us. Before we go across to our guests, let's quickly listen into those reactions coming in.
Well, so the unrelenting prince has finally decided to wear the crown, of course, leader of opposition. But that is a big responsibility. You'll have to be in the parliament all the time. And so many important meetings with Prime Minister on various appointments. And you have to be really update. And there will be topics where you won't have any backup. You'll have to come up with your own mind. I hope you'll do it. All the best. And really look forward to have you as a leader of opposition in the House. And let's hope you instill some confidence in the rotten opposition and let the parliament function smoothly.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, let's quickly take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of BJP. Tushar Gupta, political analyst, is with us. Kowai Satyan, spokesperson of AIDMK. We have with us Faizan Kedwai, spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. Dr. Syed Hafiz is spokesperson of the DMK. We also have Dr. Nikul Patel, leader of the Congress Party. But I want to go first and foremost to Kamru Zaman Chaudhary. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, the unrelenting prince has finally decided. That's the reaction, first reaction coming in from BJP's Ajay Alok. What do we make of this? Because clearly you have Amit Malviya on the other hand saying that this is an announcement coming ahead of the first defeat of the India alliance in the 18th Lok Sabha. How do you respond to this? Kamru Zaman Chaudhary.
Basically, it's a wonderful decision, a demand of the entire country that Rahul Gandhi assume the role of the leader of the opposition. And he has finally accepted, and it's a great victory for the entire country who are opposed to the ideology of Narendra Modi ji's government out here in how he is bulldozing the parliament and running various schemes or various bills that he has got passed through. We saw it. One thing is very sure, Madhav, there are no kid gloves this time, no free passes this time from the opposition parties, and I love the attitude and the way the Congress party and the entire opposition is taking on the government over the last few days. This should be the actual democracy in working. We can see the 18th Lok Sabha. Most importantly, Madhav, let me point out, the leader of the opposition coming in after 10 years, rather, an official leader of the opposition, is a very important step because he also happens to be the Public Accounts Committee chairman, where the checks and balances of the government will be accountable to the leader of the opposition, in fact the Public Accounts Committee chairman. Lot of things that were hidden during the earlier regimes will now be out in the public domain. And we hope to see more transparency from Narendra Modi government in this particular 18th Lok Sabha. Though we are not expected, but at least having Rahul Gandhi as the leader of the opposition, it will be nightmares for Narendra Modi government. That's all I can say.
I'm willing to accept all that you say, but why do you say that Rahul Gandhi's victory is a victory of ideology? So that means if there was another congressman in his place, it would have been a defeat. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary.
Madhav, you see how the campaign was run for the 2024 elections. It was as if it was only Narendra Modi. He was planning for 100 days in advance. He was putting out a roadmap of 2047 as if the king is going to be coronated in 2024 elections. But it did not happen only because of one man, and that is Rahul Gandhi. Okay. It was the Bharat Jodo Yatra and the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra that galvanized the entire opposition forces to come together and teach the Bharatiya Janata Party and its allies a lesson. Okay. This lesson is taken inside the parliament also, I hope.
Okay. Sanju Verma, you must respond to this because, and it is a fact that we've seen a very aggressive Rahul Gandhi over the last several months. I think that much I will grant Kamru Zaman Chaudhary. And with the numbers that have been bolstered of opposition, it's not going to be a cakewalk for the government. I think that much will have to be granted. So it's going to be interesting to see that while in Lok Sabha, certainly the government has numbers on its side, but it's going to be under the constant glare of the opposition, and their voice, of course, is certainly proportionately that much louder given their numbers.
You know, Madhav, I'm glad that Rahul Gandhi has finally decided to wear the crown of thorns. But, you know, for those who lecture the BJP, BJP, has completely demolished the constitutional ethos, the democratic process of propriety. You know, today is the day when the Congress should not be giving lectures to the BJP at all. 25th June 1975, इंदिरा गांधी ने संविधान की धज्जियां उड़ाते हुए, लोकतंत्र की धज्जियां उड़ाते हुए, गणतंत्र की धज्जियां उड़ाते हुए, पब्लिक मैंडेट की धज्जियां उड़ाते हुए, she imposed emergency. More than 6.5 million people were forced into sterilization. More than 2 lakh civilians, journalists and activists were brazenly jailed for no crime of theirs. The Press Council Act was disbanded. The Public Safety Act was disbanded. Thanks to MISA and COFEPOSA, civilian liberties were crushed. Let no one on your panel and your audience forget that if there is one party which even changed the basic preamble of the Constitution, liberty, fraternity, equality ki dhajjiyan udate hue, it was the Congress party. Now speaking of Rahul Gandhi very quickly. So far so good. It's the Congress's prerogative. They've decided that he should be the leader of opposition. But I just have one message, Madhav. In all humility, Rahul Gandhi's last 5 years average attendance was 51%, national average was 79%. The average of Kerala, because last time he represented Wayanad in Kerala, was 83%. Number of debates, average number of debates participated by member of parliaments, national average 46.7, state average of Kerala 78.5. Rahul Gandhi's average was a pathetic 8. Private member bills. Rahul Gandhi's participation was 0. National average 1.5, state average 4.8. Number of questions asked. National average 210, Rahul Gandhi 99. Even the average of Kerala was so good, 275.
Okay, I know these figures because I've been covering Parliament for a long time, but I'll just say this. Let me put this question across to Dr. Nikul Patel of the Congress Party. Dr. Nikul Patel, Rahul Gandhi's participation in debates, the number of questions asked in both the 16th and the 17th Lok Sabha has been far lower than the national average. And that's a point that BJP is making, that in terms of a parliamentarian, if that's his track record, how will it really be as an LoP?
Yeah, definitely. If you see what numbers my friend is telling about the thrones of crown, but I will say that it's a crown of responsibility that people of India had given to the Congress, and this BJP people were telling do bacche kya karenge. This is how now Narendra Modi is going to face the heat, because in last 10 years you can see whatever the questions were posed by Rahul Gandhi that had made Narendra Modi ji to run in the entire country, but telling 400 par he was not able to gain even 240 plus. So that is what the responsibility now Rahul Gandhi is going to take, and how he is going to make the people of the country support what the country had given to him. So we are very confident with Rahul Gandhi, because in the past also he had raised so many points of importance to the national importance, and definitely now that heat will be felt by the Pradhan Mantri on his chair, because it was unexpected by him that Rahul Gandhi, or in the campaign also, if you see, all media people were showing only two faces, that is Narendra Modi, that is Modi Sarkar. It is now no Modi Sarkar, it is NDA, and now Rahul Gandhi ji as a leader of opposition. It is going to be a very good democratic process in the next entire 5 years. This 18th Lok Sabha, you will find what opposition can do and what is the democratic process. We'll definitely fight for the cause of the people of the country, and our face is Rahul Gandhi. Narendra Modi is going to find that heat in the next 5 years.
Let me bring in Tushar on that. Tushar, the congressmen on the panel are certainly very charged up, and perhaps expectedly so. This is something that several leaders in the party have been demanding. But one fact is there, that the leader of opposition is ex officio, part of the panel that chooses the CBI director, the election commissioner, and several such other important constitutional functionaries. Rahul Gandhi and his new aggressive sort of avatar, how will that make an impact in terms of the positioning of opposition? And do you see a market shift with Rahul taking on that mantle?
Good evening, Madhav. Nikuj Patel was mocking the BJP for getting 240 seats. Can Nikuj Patel tell us when was the last time Congress crossed 240 in the Lok Sabha? Can he? Can he today on national television tell the viewers of Times Now when was the last time Congress crossed 240 seats in the Lok Sabha? Mr. Patel, I'm waiting.
You just put your words, and this is not a general knowledge quiz right now about the history. Now the point is Rahul Gandhi is going to make the government really screw up about it, and that is what is going to be the fact, that you accept and give your justification. Here is not time to give
for the record, Mr. Patel,
you are asking general knowledge question on the
because you don't know your own party's results. So that's the Congress spokesperson.
Bharatiya Janata Party was only having
you are a Congress spokesperson. You don't know the Congress results.
I am asking you again a question.
So they went from 2 to at least 303. You are stuck at 240.
Okay.
This is
gentlemen.
And today they have 240.
I am not here to answer your question. I am here
No. It's a debate. Everyone's allowed to ask questions. Everyone's allowed to answer them. And people also allowed to run away from them. But certainly, unfortunately, in this case, we are seeing people run away. But Tushar, let's come back to the point I was making. The fact is that there are important panels. Rahul Gandhi will be a part of them. And, that perhaps is going to make a difference in terms of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, perhaps just because of the approach that he's been taking last few days.
Madhav, there is no doubt that Rahul Gandhi has accepted a big responsibility, and this is what his party also wanted. This was the wish of
of the CWC also with the resolution they passed. And now Rahul Gandhi will have to be participating in every Lok Sabha debate. His records in the 16th and the 17th Lok Sabha, he'll have to miraculously, turn them upside into a very productive result for his own party. But I think there is an opportunity for the BJP also here. We have the budget session coming up. So I think the first question the BJP should be asking the new leader of the opposition is that why are the Congress-ruled states where you're seeing khatakat freebies reporting bankruptcy? Why is the Karnataka government under a strong Congress, hiring external firms for boosting their revenues? Why is the Himachal CM talking about the state being in dire finances? So Rahul Gandhi's job will not only be to ask questions, Madhav, it will also be to answer them. And he's also going to get heat from the other 290 odd MPs of the NDA. So it's going to be a very interesting time in the parliament. But clearly, it's not going to be one-way traffic. There are a lot of questions that Rahul Gandhi will have to answer. But again, it's going to be something that we'll have to watch out for how he reacts in the budget session.
Yes.
If his plan is to only disrupt the parliament, that will be visible in the first session itself. There's not something he can do for 5 years.
All right, but markedly the big difference is that in the last, two parliaments of the 16th and 17th Lok Sabha, if I can put it that way, Rahul Gandhi perhaps in the initial years wasn't as active as he appears to be at this moment. I think that's one big difference. But there are many reactions coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to some of them.
राहुल जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बधाई। आखिर आपने हर कांग्रेसियन, हर लोकसभा के सदस्य की आवाज सुनी और नेता विरोधी दल पद स्वीकार किया। नेता विरोधी दल के रूप में अब आपको प्राथमिकता मिलेगी। आपका जो 5-6 बार का राजनीतिक अनुभव है सांसद के रूप में, और जो इस चुनाव में आप एक महानायक के रूप में उभरे, जो दर्द आपने कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक लोगों का सुना है, अब वो भारत की लोकसभा में उस आवाज को कोई दबा नहीं पाएगा। आपकी सबसे बड़ा गुण आपका यही है कि आप निर्भीक, निडर हैं।
It's a welcome move that Rahul Gandhi ji has been appointed as the leader of the opposition. He had vociferously raised voices against the fascists ruling this country. Time and again, he reiterated the importance of democracy and the constitution, which the current incumbent government had failed to maintain over the past 10 years. Rahul Gandhi also has time and again stood for federalism, social justice, state rights, equality and equity.
All right, let me take this across. Very interesting. Dr. Syed Hafiz, your party's fellow spokesperson over there, Salem Dharnidharan, talking about Rahul Gandhi raising the voice of democracy and constitution. But many would compare, and there are those opposition MPs also who have been saying that the current NDA candidate for the Speaker's post, Mr. Om Birla, has been responsible for suspension of many members of Parliament. But if that is the yardstick, then Dr. Syed Hafiz, what happened in the Tamil Nadu Assembly today is a complete reversal, because here you have your ruling party speaker who has in fact suspended several AIDMK members today. So the yardstick should apply in Delhi and Chennai the same way.
See the difference between there's a difference between the two things, okay? Where there is an issue in Tamil Nadu, the Kallakurichi tragedy, which is very, very unfortunate, and there cannot be any justification, as my ministers have previously told. So we are looking into the issue. And coming to the assembly issue per se, what has happened was that there is a premeditated plan from the ADMK to disrupt the assembly. The government of the day, our government, our speaker there today, he accepted to have a discussion on 0 hour. The question is, there is going to be discussion or not? That is the question. We accepted for a discussion because there is a mania korike that is going on, that is about the explanation of the budget of 8.4 crore people who are involved. So we said we'll finish that as the business is going on. When 0 hour or post-lunch session, we can certainly have the debate. But they continue to protest because they don't want a discussion in the assembly. So my chief minister has again called them after the suspension from the speaker, when it happened on the day 1 of the assembly. They did not come. They prefer to go out. I understand if there is no assembly session, your protest in public sphere is so much justified. What is more higher than an assembly in a state in democracy, you are allowed, you are invited to come and talk, but you want to disrupt the proceedings of the assembly and you want to initiate a debate.
Dr. Syed Hafiz, this sounds very familiar. Which is the party that we normally hear saying this? It's the ruling party at the center that says the same about Parliament. And I think that's the same that happens to ruling parties everywhere. But let me in fact bring in Kovai Satyan, spokesperson of ADMK. Kovai Satyan, you are misusing provisions of the assembly, you're not agreeing to a debate, and you had an intention to disrupt today. Would you like to respond to the DMK spokesperson?
Yeah. First, our hearty wishes and congratulations to Mr. Rahul Gandhi. For a vibrant democracy and a healthy democracy, we need a stronger opposition. Hope his probation period kickstarts from today onwards. He doesn't take the entire 5 years as his probation, and he starts delivering to the people's expectations. Now, uphold constitution is the mantra of the Indie bloc, where DMK is a major ally. But what happened today in Tamil Nadu Assembly is a murder of democracy. The Assembly Speaker says no media can cover or write about the Assembly proceedings. He said it day before yesterday. And besides giving an attention-seeking motion last year on the same district where there is a free flowing of drugs and illicit liquor, it was denied. And when we wanted to speak, they are saying that we are going to discuss about the subsidies of the people and the schemes and welfare of the people, and we will discuss about the lives of the people after this question hour. Whatever was asked was well within the ambit of the speaker. It is very well aware. They are very well aware. But Mr. Stalin is so scared to face the opposition leader and answer his questions. He has not visited the Kalakurchi district till now. It's been like 5 days. Now the DGP has visited. All they are making is Iowa statements that we have initiated.
No, the larger point I'm making is just this. The larger point I'm making is this. In fact, Mr. Syed Hafiz, you need to come in on this because you say you are demanding answers of the central government. When others demand answers of the state government, then they are suspended. Now, if there is no democracy at the center, then the same will apply to the state.
Madhav, the fundamental difference here is that we are not suspending for the entire session. It is an eviction for the day.
For 1 day, that's okay.
The next day when they come with the same agenda. The difference between... No. Let me complete, Madhav. See, here we are protesting against government in Delhi where the Prime Minister was forced to talk about Manipur only after we bring in a no confidence motion. Here the Chief Minister was ready in the 0 hour to talk. What more do you want? So you cannot wait for just 2 hours to listen to the Chief Minister. We time and again the Chief Minister, even after the Speaker suspended for them for a day, we requested the Speaker to revoke the suspension and we requested the members to come. They deny to come again today. The biggest problem is they don't want a discussion to happen. That is the difference, Madhav. My Chief Minister has given a clarification. So you cannot compare this with what is happening in Delhi. The Prime Minister hardly responds.
Okay.
The whole
Let Sanju Verma respond to that. Sanju Verma, you can't compare Chennai and Delhi. The two situations are extremely different. Here we wanted to respond. In Delhi, the center never responds. Please respond to him.
No, I need to make one or two things very clear, Madhav, at the very outset. First and foremost, I've been on a couple of debates on your channel. In the last 96 odd hours, since the Kalakurchi tragedy, I've never seen the DMK spokespeople express even an iota of remorse or regret. First and foremost, my condolences to the kith and kin of 58 people who died in the horrifying illicit huge tragedy. Simply giving them 5 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees, Stalin cannot escape from his accountability. Accountability needs to be fixed now, right here. Most importantly, this is the same Stalin government when in October 2022, the infamous Coimbatore blast happened. The accused who finally blew himself, Jamshed Mubin, a Lashkar-e-Taiba operative. The NIA filed a charge sheet. Doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho gaya. MK Stalin said, oh, blast to hua hi nahi. This was not a terror attack. This was a small, infight between two business groups, and the BJP is just trying to politicize the entire narrative. This is the same Stalin. At the height of the Michong cyclone in December 2023, it is Prime Minister Modi and the NDRF headed by the Prime Minister who came to the rescue of people in Tirunelveli, which was devastated by floods. Just Stalin was sitting here and doing, politics at Jantar Mantar with Jairam Ramesh. And this is the same MK Stalin who did not allow Governor R.N. Ravi to even give his official Pongal address.
Okay.
And when the governor was giving his
she is lying.
walked out of the...
Okay, Sanju Verma, you made certain charges on the DMK. I'm going to allow them a quick chance to respond to that, and then I move on to other panelists because there are several panelists who have not yet spoken. Very quickly.
She is lying.
Syed Hafiz, very quickly.
Sanju Verma has continuously been lying about the Coimbatore issue. No. Sanju Verma has been lying about the Coimbatore issue. My chief minister never said that it's a small issue between two business groups. She is lying. In fact, on the very same day or the very next day, we handed over the case to the NIA.
Sanju Verma, you spoke, nobody interrupted you. Let him make his point, you can rebut.
Sanju Verma, stop lying about the Coimbatore issue. Enough is done.
No, one second. You can address me and speak. You can address me and speak.
For my chief minister said it is a small issue between two business groups. I challenge you. I challenge you to show where my chief minister said it's an issue between two business groups. We handed over the case to the NIA on the very next day.
Did you sack S. Muthuswamy, the Prohibition and Excise Minister of Tamil Nadu government, who reports to M.K. Stalin? Have you sacked S. Muthuswamy? Yes.
Did you sack Home Minister for Manipur issue? Did you sack Amit Shah for the Manipur issue? Did you sack Amit Shah for...
Okay, we cannot have two panelists speaking over each other. We cannot have two panelists speaking over each other. And just for that reason, I'm going to go across to some of the others. We also have Monojit Mandal joining us. Monojit Mandal, today, we saw the TMC did not join all the other opposition parties when they were, in fact, signing for the nomination of Mr. K. Suresh. The TMC and the Congress clearly are not on the same page. Then TMC and the rest of the opposition is clearly not on the same page. A few days ago, we saw a TMC leader also say that for the LoP post, they should be consulted. Now that the Congress has decided and other opposition leaders have decided that Rahul will be the LoP, are we going to be seeing the TMC walking a totally different path inside the House? Monojit Mandal.
So I think the Congress, if you have the number, depending on the number, Congress will automatically have the LoP. That's the point, because after all, India, all the parties together, they did not really fight the elections. In fact, the Congress and TMC fought against each other in Bengal. So I think there is no issue at all. I mean, if you are trying to find some crack in India.
But I find this very interesting, Professor Mandal, because through the election we were told we are not fighting in the state, but nationally we are together. Now suddenly you're not part of the same India alliance. What has happened?
But the LoP, the post of LoP should be a single political party, and Congress happens to be the biggest political party in the India bloc. And if in fact both Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Abhishek Banerjee, the two of the tallest leaders of the respective parties, they were seen to be talking to each other inside the parliament, where they were very closely talking to each other. So, I mean, there can be issues, there can be differences, but I think those differences will be sorted out. I mean, BJP doesn't need to worry about what the Congress and what the other political parties in the India bloc are doing. They should worry about how to run the parliament properly. It's their business. They can't do what they did 6 months back by suspending 147 MP. And I am also astounded by the fact that how Mr. Om Birla will now face that fiery, feisty Mohua Mittu, because he was responsible for expelling her without any fault of her. Still, till date, CBI could not do anything. CBI is apparently investigating into the matter of that very big national security issue. Nothing has been done. The same Mohua Mittu is coming back to the parliament with a majority, and Mr. Om Birla.
Okay, questions on Om Birla, but Tushar Gupta, the larger question of opposition unity from today's development certainly is a big one, because if you don't have the TMC united with the rest of the opposition, then the numbers drastically come down in the House.
Madhav, what happened last year after the Congress's win in Karnataka, the Congress got overconfident and they could not take their allies together. And that is why for almost a year, the India alliance could actually not come together, existing only newspaper articles and some media debates. At the end of the day, the people now realize, especially in the smaller parties, even the Samajwadi Party for that matter at one point will realize that the Congress wants the lion's share of the attention for itself. They don't want to take the other opposition parties along. What else explains that you're contesting for the speaker's position when you don't have the numbers? You are 230 odd in the Lok Sabha, still you go for the speaker's position against an NDA which has 290 odd, and yet you do not take a party that has over 15 MPs into confidence. What explains this political naivety? only overconfidence. And that is the problem of the Congress. Every time they get a little bit strong, they forget that the allies are also there with them, because of whom they might have actually won some seats in states where they were otherwise wiped out. For instance, in Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, and even Maharashtra for that matter. So I think the same problem is haunting the Congress again, and a result of it we saw earlier today when the TMC said, hey, we were not even consulted for the position of the speaker or the election of the speaker. I don't really know how Congress leadership works on this front.
All right, Kamaldevan Chaudhary would like to respond to that, because whosever fault it is, the point is that ultimately if you're not together with one of your big allies, that is the TMC, then obviously when there is the index of opposition unity is that much weaker, obviously you will not be as effective in putting the government on the mat in the House.
No, I can understand the heartburn of people of the right-wing ecosystem like Tushar Gupta, whether TMC is talking with Congress or Congress is speaking with other allies of the India bloc. It's immaterial right now. Where the hypocrisy of the Narendra Modi government has been exposed with regards to the speaker. Why I say this, let me just remind you. 2019, the Narendra Modi government did not elect a deputy speaker of the House. In 2024 also the same intention of the Narendra Modi government was not to elect a deputy speaker. So our leaders pressed for, you name the deputy speaker first, then we'll support Om Birla. But the arrogance of this government did not permit them for naming the deputy speaker, because they were exposed at that very moment when they said that we are not going to appoint any deputy speaker here. It's my way or the highway. Now coming to other very important issue that was raised during this debate, let me tell you, YSRCP or the Biju Janata Dal were reduced to the dustbins of history in their respective states, because over the last 5 years they remained mute spectators to the draconian laws being passed inside the parliament by the same Modi government. And look now what has happened to them. Okay. If the regional parties, there might be differences with the Congress
of
party.
History, perhaps but time will tell. But let me bring in Sanju Verma on the first point that you make, and that is the point of Deputy Speaker. And this is a very important one, because Sanju Verma, we've seen opposition repeatedly say this, that the BJP has ignored several of the constitutional norms. They're not laws, but there are conventions. And the opposition post, for instance, during UPA time, had gone to Karya Munda of the BJP. The BJP has not extended that courtesy over the last several years and terms. Please respond.
Madhav, that's a very pertinent question by you. And I just have this to say, Madhav, on your debate, in the last 31 odd minutes, I keep hearing from the other side, BJP is arrogant, BJP is arrogant, BJP is arrogant. Despite winning 240 seats, despite having a reduced mandate, despite winning only 33 seats in Uttar Pradesh, I have been on a zillion debates and said, we as a party, the BJP, need to introspect. And look at the other side. Rahul Gandhi with 98 or 99 or whatever, Jairam Ramesh and Rahul Gandhi, they are jumping up and down. जैसे कि पता नहीं किन खाप के पर लग गए इन लोगों को. Now let me answer your question. First and foremost, let me very quickly say, as far as Karya Munda is concerned, or Charanjit Singh Chatwal is concerned, or for that matter, PM Saeed is concerned, or for that matter, Purno Sangma is concerned, be it 1952, 1976, 1996, 1998, there have been governments, both Narasimha Rao government, Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, where a person from the other side was elected as the deputy speaker. But let's be very honest, Madhav, with a hand on our heart, 2024 is not 1996. 2024 is not 1998. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's era was different. Look at the opposition today. What was Rahul Gandhi doing yesterday? This. Jairam Ramesh, every tweet he says, एक तिहाई प्रधानमंत्री. अरे एक तिहाई प्रधानमंत्री यदि नरेंद्र मोदी हैं, आपका राहुल गांधी तो तीसरी बार फेल हो चुका है, तीसरी बार फेल पप्पू. So look at the level of public discourse. Do you expect the BJP to cede an inch? And somebody on the panel, I think Tushar made a very important point, and which you have also said. If the BJP and the opposition come together on grounds of conciliation and consensus, not confrontation, it's a utopian world. Things can be ideal. But the fact of the matter is...
Well, BJP not ceding an inch at a time when it had a brute majority is one thing. But at this point of time, at least many would have thought things would be different. But let me quickly bring in Faizan of the Samajwadi Party. He's been waiting very patiently. Faizan, how do you respond to Sanju Verma, who says that in the current situation is not what it was in the past? Why do you expect BJP to cede an inch? Please respond to that. Faizan.
First of all, I'd like to respond to Sanju Verma, who said something about Loktantra ki dhajjiyan uda di. So Sanju Verma, you should know what Mr. Om Birla was doing while he was in the chair earlier. he made sure that 150 MPs, constitutionally elected MPs, were suspended. The chairs of opposition were lying vacant while you people were passing a lot of bills. The farmer bill was converted into money bill unethically, and then it was passed without any discussion. You should know that a lot of bills were passed within 30 minutes because there was no opposition. Mr. Birla made sure that the opposition has been thrown out of the parliament, and then when there was a discussion, when people, the opposition wanted to discuss about parliamentary security breach, Pegasus, about Airport Economic Regulatory Authority of India Amendment Bill, about the Inland Vessel Bill, everything was done without the opposition being there in the parliament. So do you mean to say this was not democracy ki dhajjiyan udana? This totally was. And to the gentleman here who was asking, the gentleman, the analyst or whatever, pro-BJP analyst, he was asking somebody that Congress ki last time 240 kab aayi thi. Sir, I would like to ask you, could you please tell me, Bharatiya Janata Party ki Uttar Pradesh mein last time 52% depreciation seats में कब आया था? नरेंद्र मोदी का पर्सनल वोट शेयर में 33.3% depreciation कब आया था? Would you please answer, despite his constituency having 70,000 more voters, when was the last time 10% of his vote share declined? Do you know when it happened? It happened this time. So the change has eventually started. So I actually request the people of Bharatiya Janata Party to please cut the arrogance and then try to understand that opposition is the voice of India. Do you remember what used to happen during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time? He used to make sure, he used to tell his people, his MPs, to go and meet the opposition members in the central hall, break bread with them, have a discussion, so a consensus could be built. But this is not something which Mr. Narendra Modi has promoted. Mr. Modi has always encouraged his party leaders to stay away from the opposition because he believes in a dictatorial approach, the typical RSS approach of one leader, one ideology, one intention. So I think you people
posed many questions now, Faizan. Now let's get in a chance to rebut them one by one. First Tushar and then Sanju.
You know, since he's talking about the opposition leaders, during Vajpayee time, we did not have opposition leaders who used to cheer on Jai Philistine and have a problem when someone used to utter Jai Hindu Rashtra. So let's cut out the differentiation very clearly. You're talking about BJP's depreciation in Uttar Pradesh. Imagine the strength of the BJP that even with the 52% depreciation in seats, even while having just 33 of the 80 seats in Uttar Pradesh, they have been able to beat the anti-incumbency for 10 years for the third time and secured a mandate. They have got the Lok Sabha tally, which the Congress has not been able to manage in 40 years. Sure, the BJP has a lot to work on, but what does the Congress have to celebrate? You are saying that Congress is the voice of the country. What country, sir? The Congress does not even have 1/5 of the seats in the parliament or 1/5 of the vote share in the country.
All right, there's some big breaking news. Tushar, I'm sorry for interrupting you. There's some big breaking news coming at this point of time, and this is what sources are telling us. This is sources informing us about the Central Bureau of Investigation examining Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in Tihar jail and recording a statement related to the excise policy case. CBI also has got permission of Arvind Kejriwal's production before the concerned trial court tomorrow. He will be produced before the court tomorrow. This is a massive development, even as the lawyers of Arvind Kejriwal have in fact said that they would be approaching the Supreme Court tomorrow after the High Court has not ruled in favor of Arvind Kejriwal. There's a reaction coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's quickly listen in.
जुर्म अत्याचार जाति की इंतहा हो गई है। विश्वस्त सूत्रों से जानकारी मिली है कि ऐसे समय में जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को जमानत मिलने की पूरी संभावना है, उससे पहले केंद्र की भाजपा सरकार ने सीबीआई के अधिकारियों के साथ मिलकर एक बड़ी साजिश रची है और ये साजिश है अरविंद केजरीवाल के खिलाफ सीबीआई का फर्जी मुकदमा तैयार करके उनको गिरफ्तार करने की। पूरा देश देख रहा है बीजेपी की जाति, पूरा देश देख रहा है केंद्र सरकार।
Big development coming in. Sanjay Singh making an allegation that Arvind Kejriwal would be arrested. Let's go across to Bhavtosh Singh, who's joining us, our news editor. Bhavtosh, this is a big development any which way you look at it, because all of this is happening while the proceedings are on in the court. Is there any confirmation from the CBI? Because the Aam Aadmi Party says that there's a possibility of him being arrested.
So, Madhav, what we can confirm to our viewers are three things. One is CBI had taken permission from the court to question Arvind Kejriwal. That questioning went on Monday and also on Tuesday. That's today. And the CBI top sources in CBI have denied that he has been arrested. But there are reports that he will be produced before the concerned court tomorrow at around 10 a.m. Now, what can happen is that after his questioning, he can be, in fact, since he is in judicial custody, that before the concerned court or because the courts are on vacation, CBI can seek his custody by producing it before the vacation. Is pretty much likely. Now we can tell the courts is that the officers CBI are denying his arrest. Remember, the judicial is not.
All right.